Si chiama tifo perché è una malattia, ma è una malattia bellissima come l'amore. Se sei innamorato del rosso e del nero, questo è il momento per dimostrarlo, perché il diavolo stanotte ha bisogno dell'amore di tutti i suoi seguaci. Buonasera gentili ascoltatori dallo stadio Giuseppe Meazza di Milano. Mamma mia, Teo Hernandez, il raddoppio del Milan.
Cerca di accelerare, palla al piede Leao, va da Giroud che si presenta in area, Giroud, Donnarumma e poi Leao, in acrobazia Leao, in grande stile, fa 1-1 per il delirio di San Siro.
Leao, servito Leao al limite, tocco di ritorno, pallone per Benasser.
Gol, ha segnato il Milan.
Va con la potencia que lo distingue, aquí está Teo, es de Messi el gol. Teo, golazo. De Lionel Hernández.
È il momento più bello del mondo. Gol! È il momento più bello del mondo. Irina, te amo, diceva Gabriel Batistuta. Questa volta l'abbiamo fatto noi. Milan, ti amo. Milan, ti amo. Milan! Milan!
Believe. Not exactly what we were expecting. Not exactly what we were expecting, ladies and gentlemen. Not exactly what we were expecting from the quarterfinal of Champ Europa League against Roma. Not exactly what we were expecting, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're gonna do in this live stream, guys, is we are going to talk about the defeat of our young AC Milan. We're gonna analyze some players, some tactics. We're gonna be analyzing some moment of our team. Some moment. Well, we're gonna analyze a little bit what's happened last night, because that's not what we were expecting, I will say, because we were defeated by Roma, and what's gonna happen next? So guys, first of all, I will say let's do just let me go. Okay, let me go. I have something that I want to say about last night's match, and then we're gonna start to analyzing. Maybe in the second part we're gonna see some stats of the player. We're gonna make some more comments on it. We'll see what's the plan, what we can do. All right, so let's start from the basic, guys. Milan lost 1-0 with a goal of Mancini. Mancini. Milan lost 1-0 against Roma. Against what kind of Roma did we lose? We lost against a solid Roma, I would like to say. We lost against a Roma that was full of confidence. We lost against a Roma that after the derby, it looked very, very, very much like a team that wanted to win the match. At Roma especially on the first half, maybe got a couple of occasions. He was lucky with the goal. And I think overall, as I mentioned in my video, if it was a boxing match, maybe this kind Milan Roma probably would end up 2-2. As a draw. Because how many times Giro is gonna miss that goal after the assist of Chukwueze, isn't it? So I don't know. But because it's not a boxing match, and sometimes matches are decided for some insecurity from both our defense, goalkeeper, whoever was it. The main thing is that Milan was not able to score a single goal at home against Roma. So first of all, we have to start with saying congratulations to Roma, that they look solid, they look confident, they came to Milan, I think, in the mentality of their supporters, on the mentality in the head of the Roma fans before coming to Milan. It was the most important thing is not lose too much. It's gonna be goal to have to come back home in Rome with a draw. They're actually coming back home with a victory. Now, what does it mean coming back home for a victory for them? Going back home for a victory for them means that they're gonna have to pretty much, I guess, they're gonna have to defend the victory that they have. They're gonna be to be good at countering attack. And while Milan doesn't have a second option, Milan doesn't have the option of drawing, for example, Milan will have to attack and will need to be extremely solid defensively. Now, as far as I remember, I don't recall Roma beside the goal, maybe another couple of, maybe a shot. I don't recall that Roma put too much in danger Mike Maignan. So I don't think that Roma beside the goal did something else. So there is still a chance for Milan, of course, to go through, but will have to be a completely different match. What kind of match I'm gonna be expecting to see in Rome, like every single Milan fan right now? We want to see the belief in the victory. We want to see the team that want to reach the semi-final of Europa League. We want to see a team that it is much more aggressive than what we saw last night, because the thing that we saw last night, it was the same Milan that faced Inter in the semi-final of Champions League last year. Passive. I don't know. This is the biggest limit, of course, of our coach, because mentally we should be super aggressive. We should be much more aggressive. I believe that is the same mentality that Milan faced, for example, last year, Napoli, Tottenham in Champions League. What's happened is that we didn't have somebody that scored on the other hand. So we were able, if the match goes in a draw, Milan, so that means that also the other team is not very good at scoring. There is always a chance that with a counter-attack or somehow Milan is able to score a goal. But in situation like this, when the other team scored first, it was mental. I think it was a problem about literally like mentality that Milan was not able to overcome their fear, to be secure enough to score a goal, to be secure enough to trying a little bit an extra dribbling or so on. Also, maybe there were certain players that they felt kind of pressure from Pulisic. I mean, you don't have to be a genius in football to understand that yesterday was not his night. It was not the night, of course, also of our bomber, of our number 9, Oliviero de Sparviero Giroud. It was not our night. It was the night of Rafael Leao, the best player that we have in our team. It was not his night. It was not the night of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It was the night instead of certain other players that we did enjoy seeing solidly. I did enjoy Calabria. I did enjoy Chow. I did enjoy Mike Magnan with a good save. At least one good save. One was outside, calling up the rest of the team. But for the rest, I'll say if I was expecting more from the attack, if I was surprised by defend, once again, I think we can all agree that our midfield, even last night, that the one that's supposed to bring a little bit more of fire, a little bit more of spice into the match, there was absolutely nada. And you can see when, for example, there was a moment where Reinders lost the ball. I don't recall if it was the first or second half, but losing a ball in a way that he lose the ball because he was literally sleeping, it was annoying. Benacer were always doing the same things, tick-tack, 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 tick-tack. We understood that against Roma was pretty much useless, and things change, luckily, when Adley came in. We have to say that Adley really was trying to do something different, and I think he should have been a starter. Especially, it did work, right? It did work when he was playing in Campionato. In Campionato, he scored a goal after 7 minutes. He's fit. That means he got something that Roma is not. Well, okay, Roma is not the same, but Adley, Reinders with a couple of shots from the outside, but other than that, really, I did not like it. Okafor didn't have enough time, and the other player that definitely brought a little bit of brilliant, of energy into the counter attack, into the action, was our favorite Chukwueze. Okay, so let me read here a comment of Nonso. I can see that Milan fans have changed their mouth again and saying Pioli out after winning 7 games in a row against decent opposition. Nonso, I agree with you. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous out there. You can clearly see. I mean, it's a bit frustrating, isn't it? Nobody was. For some people in December, January was absolutely Pioli out. Then they disappear for 2 months. We didn't see them. Where did they go? Where did they go when Milan was winning? They disappeared. And now that he missed the match, because there is, of course, a little bit of his fault on last night, maybe. Again, like as we always say, Nonso, right, in a little bit on the preparation of the match, on the attitude of the team. That's something that was missing. But at the end of the day, if Pulisic is Pulisic is always play. I mean, that was the lineup that Pioli played against Roma was the best lineup that we've seen the last 3 weeks, right? So it wasn't really about the choice of the player. Maybe you can say something about Benacer, but Adley also played 90 minutes against Lecce. There are some reason why he picked it, but over Pulisic, and Pulisic, I mean, as you know, until Sunday, he was the best right wing in Serie A. What's happened last night? Correct? So people change opinion very, very, very fast, and they don't, they have to make their own idea on the coach. So I think, as we say, that this is my position. The count. You're gonna do the final. You're gonna check the you're really gonna check the result at the end of the season. You know, at the end of the season, you're gonna see the result. When Pioli's job is on the line, he always does something. The team always react, but because probably he's gonna start to pretending a little bit more from his player. The team has the skill to beat Roma. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter if we're gonna be playing football or we're gonna be like last night, or we're gonna do like last night. You know, it was terrible, man. For me, even if we somehow get past Roma and win the Europa League, I'm still Pioli out. For me, his cycle is done. Hey, it's you know, the thing also is that I understand where you're coming from, what you're saying, that his cycle is done. I agree. I would like to know, you know, who's going to be possibly the next step, because you need a step up from Pioli, right? You need you know, Pioli, we all know that he does something, maybe like last night, he didn't pass the right attitude, he didn't pass the right energy to the team, but still, like in Italy, who else who else you gonna call in, right, from Italy? Good coach that already have experience in international team, playing in Champions League, playing in Coppa Italia, in Campionato, in a team that has the expectation for last year of winning the Campionato, and the expectation for next year is going to be again at least coming out from the group stage, because that's going to be so. I don't see many coaches in Italy that they can do that. I don't see many, and I don't see any other cheap coach out there. Okay, so I don't know. I still want to believe that Milan is going to be able to take their revenge in Roma. I still want to believe in this, and I think if the boys with Ficaio, even with Ficaio Tomori, not that yesterday Ciao and Gabbia they haven't done well, but I think Tomori is even more a leader. That's what we need, a little bit more of push in that. So I want to believe that in Rome we're gonna do a good result. So no, so I think I see, I know what you mean with the end of the cycle. Now the winning the Europa League has always been like extremely hard, because you have such a strong teams on the league. Everything is gonna depending on how it's gonna end up the season. You know, what's gonna be the derby. The derby is gonna be pretty much his final test. The Europa League, pretty much we can say that next week is going to be the you know, there are two matches that if we lose them both, they're going to put us psychologically underground, like literally out of cup, and Inter winning the Scudetto in our home. That's going to be, I don't think it can get any worse, you know. I don't think it can get really any worse. It can be very bad or could be very good. Do you think Milan can beat Liverpool the way Atalanta did Pioli? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but I also believe that maybe yesterday, what's his name? Liverpool didn't really prepare the match against Gasperini, and Gasperini did an incredible job. And you know, Gasperini was already the coach of Inter, which is it is a club that plays in San Siro, and Gasperini didn't do good, because there are certain coaches that do really well in a certain kind of environment, and other coaches they're not going in a certain kind of environment. Most famous example above all, Carlo Ancelotti in Napoli, Everton, not good. Real Madrid constantly winning Champions League. So, you know, it's clear that certain coaches like Gasperini, for example, the Italiano, they are doing really good in a certain kind of club, in a certain kind of atmosphere, okay, rather than that. Now, we will see. We will see, Nonso. We will see, Nonso. We will see. We will see. Right. Let's check some stats from last night match, guys. What do you think? I think it could be a good idea. Let me put it on the screen here so we can have a quick look. If you guys have any question, just go ahead. I know the stream maybe comes later, but I'm very happy to read all the question and screen share. Entire screen. There you go. All right, guys. So there you go. So Milan was coming really from a great moment. Great moment. After a draw against Atalanta, victory with Lazio, Slavia Praga, Empoli, Slavia Praga again, Verona, Fiorentina, Lecce, which is all team very much beatable. You know, I'm not saying that we face PSG, Chelsea, and Real Madrid, but as you can see in Serie A, who is in the best form? Milan. Roma, as you can see, it's win, draw, win, draw, win, draw. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, we lost against Roma now, okay? Now, the thing about last night that yeah, and also let me add a bit of positivity. The defeat is somehow that can be overturned. It's only 1-0. Let's see what they can do. I'll say, Nonso, in some kind of crazy way to think, the defeat itself, it is probably even better than drawing a last minute. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that maybe we were all waiting to win, but and also I thought, you know, if we can score, the draw is gonna give us, you know, a good morale. We're gonna feel good at that time. But then we're gonna be arriving in Rome with another draw with 0-0. So it's like pretty much nothing changed. Meanwhile, you wanna have a change in mentality in Milan when it goes to Rome. Because when we go to Rome, we don't have any other options. There's only one result that Milan has to do. And I'm sure it's going to be the same result that we're going to have in the derby. So on Thursday and Monday, next Thursday and next Monday, there's only two results available. Two. Which is called victory. Only victory. There is no draw, there is no losing, there is victory. So I hope that this feeling is gonna grow into the player so much, into the coach, into the staff, into everyone, to fucking push them. Nonso, you didn't put like. Well, we are in 3 and 4 people here, so yes, guys, if you're watching, just remember to put a big like to the live stream, because it's going to help us, other Rossoneri, to reach this therapy session. All right. Peter, how you doing, buddy? Just arrived. I'm late for the party, yeah? For the therapy, you're late. So I was just start to analyzing a little bit the match after talking a little bit about how I felt about it. What is most frustrating, especially, is this, right? Is this moment. Is this moment here, is the first, 20 minutes of the match that we didn't show up at all. And this is what I am most angry, the most angry part about the preparation of the match, the mentality. We didn't go there. We didn't start the match yesterday to winning. You know, I don't know if you guys had the same feeling, Peter and Nonso. find someone in life who believes in AC Milan like Fabrizio does. Always, man. Always. But this is the story, you know. I don't think watching already this, it's you can see that Milan didn't start the match, they want to win the match. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I didn't feel like, oh wow, we start like this, we wanna do something. I never felt it. I never felt in the first 20 minutes that, oh, we want to win this. You're a bit drunk, oh my god. So yes, of course, you know, we kept the ball most of the time. And now Pellegrini, I think Pellegrini got a yellow card that is gonna be skipping the next match. Indica is gonna be back, but I think, look at the rating here. Miles Villar, the goalkeeper of Roma, is the best. Man is the man of the match. Goal prevented 1.48. Okay, Lukaku 7 is a joke. Olivier Giroud, okay. Leandro Paredes, vabbè, anyway. I think, for example, the only thing I can say about last night that this one should have been done early was, well, Pioli always does this change at minus 60. He always change something. So I think Adli yesterday probably was a little bit better than Benacer, and I think he brought some spice. So absolutely even early. The main change has to be done. At minus 78, these two, no. Pioli have to have the balls to even early, man. Even early, minutes 70, especially Chukwueze for Pulisic. He should have been changed. Pulisic, you said that you saw it that it was not his night. Leao, you saw that it was not his now. I understand on Leao because Leao is the best player that you have. So maybe you start thinking, you start to understanding. But last night De Rossi blocked him. So there was no chance. But Pulisic should have changed with Chukwueze much early. That's why, for example, look at the rating here. The rating on Adli in half an hour and Pulisic in 13 minutes. Look at that. And sorry, on Chukwueze, it was much better. Much better. Expected goal for Milan 1.6, Roma 0.62, ball possession 53 for Milan. On the first half, yeah, look at the second half, we pretty much played all the time, you know. There was not much to do for Roma there. Can Pioli adapt the game in 6 days? Because some tactics, no way we can win. I think we can. I think Milan yesterday lost because they didn't want to win, guys. And this is not an arrogant comment that I say, but when was that Milan played this shitty? Last time, who do you? This was the same attitude that we saw, and I said at the beginning, probably was just me and Nonso talking, but the last time that we saw such a shitty game was the match against Inter in semifinal. So honestly, that one, it's pretty bad. I felt the same way sometimes. Something was off, especially with Leao. He was just a passenger, man. Yesterday, the Leao, absolutely. Deep down, I hope these harsh criticisms will wake up the demon in Leao. Pioli should start substituting way early in the game. When you look at the stats, we are better than the... Yeah. It doesn't... At the points, like a boxing match, at the points, guys, it doesn't make... losing this match, it doesn't make sense. The only thing that Milan was missing was the victory, was the goal. But this is not boxing, this is football. So unfortunately, they got a chance, they defend really well, and we were not good enough. Simple as that. Unfortunately, that's it. Look at Calabria. Calabria played pretty good. I think Calabria was good. And if Calabria was good, that's already an alarm. You know what I mean? If Calabria is one of the best players, well, maybe. Why? Ground duels, look at that. 8 out of 14, so half of it, he already won it. Ball possession lost only 7. Very good. Let's see Teo Hernandez. Ball possession lost. 11. Malik Chow. Malik wasn't. That's a big red flag. I know, Peter. I know. It's crazy. What do you guys think about Chow yesterday? I think. So let me know what do you guys think about the defense last night. All the sector, Mike Magnan, Teo, Chow, Gabbia, Calabria. I go first because I know that you're gonna take a little bit to reply. I think overall, Lukaku was all the time owned by Calabria. Calabria did incredibly good with Lukaku. Chow, for the first time, I saw him better. Okay. Teo Hernandez. From Teo, we always expecting, that he's going to start running, he start to do this, but defensively was okay, and Calabria was good. So defensively, I was very worried about when I saw Chow and Gabbia, but I have to say that overall, they were okay. Chow is still scared. You can see Thuram in his eyes. Yes. Thuram literally in his eyes. I don't know. Benacer, isn't it? Buff. Benacer. Yeah, Roma didn't test a lot our defense. That's for sure. That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah. So it wasn't really a tough match for the defense, I would say. I think we can all agree with that. Benacer was a bit boring, isn't it? Boring. Always the same thing. Always the same passing. Even, well, at least Reinders was trying to shoot, 89% of accuracy. I don't know. I felt Adley was much more efficient. Accuracy passes 100%. I think Adley was much more efficient. Leao's thinking in his head, what will Cassano say on Twitter? Poof. TJ was solid. I don't know, man. It was good, but I think from here on, this is when the mistakes start. Like, not enough. From Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic. Rafa Leao. Let's see Leao. 70 minutes played, expecting goal 0.26, accuracy pass 81%, crosses 1 out of 2, 38 touches, dribble attempt 0 out of 2, ground duels won 2 out of 6, possession lost 11. It's not even a big number, 11, you know what I mean? It's not like 30 times, 20 times, I don't know. Usually he got around 15, 20. This time, just 11. Pulisic 15 ball possession. So not his night. We need to really refocus and go back to step 1. That's for sure, guys. That is for sure. Lazio 4, Salernitana 0. I can't believe it. Pioli will face the biggest test in his career in 6 days. No injuries, finger crossed. He doesn't have any excuse this time. We must be able to beat Roma. Not the biggest, but the closest. Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be one of the biggest for us, especially one of the hardest 3 days. One of the hardest 3 days, 4 days. One of the hardest week of the last few years, really. Yeah, I feel you see this is the heat map. So mainly we are always on the right hand side with Pulisic, and I think it was most of the time Loftus-Cheek playing on that side, you see. Pulisic and Loftus-Cheek. And I feel like no. And I feel like if this is on the left wing, the left chain is like the fastest that we have, but now we start building more on the right hand side. When we see that the left is not really available, we try to go on the right hand side. This is not the first time seeing this, I mean, Pulisic got almost the same touch of Reinders. He touched a lot of times. I mean, look at that, 67. Wow, Pulisic really was not just his night. Who was on Pulisic? It was Silic. No, Leao was on Silic. On the other side, you got Spinazzola. Yeah, Spinazzola owns him. Spinazzola own Pulisic, Silic own Rafa Leao. And unfortunately, it's like this. Yeah, the Rossi is the new Mourinho of Serie A. Chao has regressed so much. What has happened to him? Yeah, Chao, after the derby, I felt like after the derby and after the red card against Juve, do you remember that? In San Siro, when Keane, I don't know how you pronounce it, the Juve striker was about to go and he tried to stop him and got a red card for it. From the moment, Chao completely collapsed. Psychologically, it's one of the worst drops that I've seen for a very long time. I'm talking about Chao, and that was so unexpected. But probably it was also a little bit the mentality of the guy, you know what I mean? So maybe he was not really psychologically strong to say, I get back on top of my game. Or he's gonna get back on top of his game, but it takes longer time. It's not just because he's 21 years old, the child, guys. Remember, he's 21 years old. So maybe it takes longer, but again, against Roma, I liked it. I would like to see him against Sassuolo. I would like to see him against Sassuolo. If we can recover, he can do a good match against Sassuolo. I will keep him really in the circle. Also, if I think against Roma, Pioli will go for Tomori and Gabbia, without doubt. Tomori, Tomori and Gabbia, exactly. Yeah. Dribbling 23 against 13. I'll pass it. Shots 25 against 10. 25. And all these shots here, they are from, Reinders, Loftus-Cheek. I don't know if Benacer actually shot once, but they are all from our midfielder. Aerial duels won. Like, this is pretty much when Svilar was crossing the ball, and here there was Lukaku, Gabbia. Ciao. What's his name? Dybala was always on the ground. Did you see that? Milan was so annoying, man. Dybala was always on the ground. He was so annoying. Such a Juve player, always on the ground. Dybala was always on the ground. Okay. Where are the shots? Adli, Hernandez, Leao. Oh, the terrible picture that they have. Reinders, Chukwueze, Gabbia. Do you remember? I remember this shot from Gabbia, isn't it? Roma played for time after 30 minutes. Yeah, Marianne, what's happened to your Liverpool yesterday? 3-0 at home against Atalanta. Woof! What's happened there? Pellegrino and Dybala diving bastard, embarrassing, rolling around. Yeah. You see Reinders, Hernandez, Adli. What the fuck is this? This is a shot. Wow. All the shots, they're pretty much from Dybala. Look at the Cristante with a Milan jersey. Sharawi. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable, really. Match report. Total attempts 25-10. Open play 12-9. Set piece 13-1. Penalty, on goal, counter attack. Yeah, this is something that we never talk about, but I just read the word penalty and You know what I mean? Do you guys think it was a penalty, the one on the last minute with the arms of Abraham? What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that? Do you think it was a penalty or not? Do you think that corner from on the last minutes from the left side ball end up and change the spinning of the ball? It is a penalty or not? Now, in the old football, it is not. In the football that me and you grew up, that's never a penalty. That's never a handball. But in today's football, the hands, it's, you know, it's quite visible. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What do you guys think? Our team looks soulless, and sadly, that's nothing new. This the website, yeah, you see that 2015. I think we agreed long ago. Refs are against us, and we are not going to cry. Yeah. We say we are not gonna do it. I really hope that Chukwueze next Thursday he runs and play at players, and with Adley was our only chance, our only incisive player. I couldn't 100% say it was a penalty. From the angle they showed wasn't conclusive. Yeah, I didn't expect anything better from the ref against us. If Inter was playing that game, if they got a penalty, oh yeah. Did you see the the last penalty that they got against Udinese? The one, man, that is really ridiculous. It's really bad. It's really bad. No, it's really it's it's anyway. I can't find the picture that I wanted. Let's see some of this. Here I asked to everyone thoughts on Milan Roma. I didn't really know what to post. That was my reaction, really. Like, you know, I was like, come on, what's next, you know? So sleeping Milan Roma, 10 comments. There you go. We start with the Italian guy that says De Rossi put the right players, Pioli didn't. This is a bit strange comments, but very effective, very obvious. Yes, of course. I don't know what else to say. Well, absolutely shocking. Let's read this. Absolutely shocking. The linesman failed to pick up the clear, obvious offside. Yeah, because if you guys do remember, the penalty, the corner kick, when we concede the goal, started from an action of Roma that was actually, people believe, and I don't know, I think it was offside. But what's happening is, if the ref, so the side ref, doesn't raise their flag, the VAR cannot change the decision. So only if, let's say, for example, he was raising the flag, the VAR can say he was right, he was wrong. But if he doesn't stop the game, as it's happened, or he doesn't raise the flag, VAR cannot intervene. So it doesn't matter. And even more shocking, the head ref wasn't paying attention enough to see it. I have to say that there was a couple of times that, especially in the beginning, there was a yellow card on, I think, who was it? There was a yellow card on one of our players that I didn't understand. I don't recall who was it, but yeah, it felt very much like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It felt very much like he was against us quite often, but that's okay. That was under 14 ASO level linesman ability. I remember that the layout flick was also not out of bounds, but that one benefited us. But a still absolutely shocking performance from the refs. I'm not a fan. I tell you what I think. I'm not a fan of talking about referee, guys. I'm not a fan. I'm not, because I always start my opinion on, if you're better than the other team, you win. You know, if you are better than the other team, it doesn't matter the ref if they stop offside, not offside, penalty, no penalty. If you are really better than the other team, you win. Now, I understand also that sometimes when the teams are very close, and especially one team wins for a corner kick, it burns so much, and you're like, why they didn't stop it? If we don't show up in the second leg, we are screwed. Well, yep. Well, I'm not gonna reply to this right now, but yep. Not our day. Still believe. Well, I have to believe. Andy, very bad. Our best player slept tonight. Fact. Just fact, Andy, tonight. Very bad. Fact. Our best player slept tonight. Fact. I expected Rafa to take personally what Cassano said and show the world otherwise. Fact. Disappointed. Guess what? Fact. Huge heart. But we still believe. Andy, absolutely, yeah. Do you guys really think that? Do you guys really think? I don't know if you know what's happening during the week in between Cassano and Rafa Leao. Long story short, Cassano called Leao mid player, average player, and Leao just reposted what he said with the symbol of a clown. Okay, some of you send me, the comments and blah blah blah. I honestly, that's why I don't have Twitter, guys. That's why I don't have Twitter. I have already a lot of things going on in my life, and I love our community on Old Arrows Nero on YouTube. I really love it because you guys are all respectful and true Milanistas. And I don't need the toxic. What's the point of getting more toxic on Twitter? I don't really see the point. I understand that they're their opinion and it's nice and it's good to see, but sometimes it's just you don't really need that part in your life, isn't it? And it's a pity that one of our best player, it's Peter's told me that he's always on Twitter. Like Leao was always on Twitter checking, and I don't know what he does check. I don't know what you can do on Twitter, but but honestly, I don't think Andy, I don't think that he took it personally, what Cassano said. So I don't think, what I'm saying is, I don't think it's real. When you play in a stadium full of people, when you play against when you go to play in Firenze, when you go to play in Roma, when you go to play in Napoli, when you go play across Europe, I mean, you hear everything what they are singing to you. You hear pretty much everything what the people are against you. So I think if somebody insult you there, it's much more strong that insult face to face rather than somebody on a phone, right? So I think the player, they kind of build up a little bit of skin, you know what I mean? So I don't think he's gonna take it because a guy on Twitter said this. Who cares, right? Then you go on Firenze and then you have a crazy fan of Fiorentina calling you son of a bitch, son of this, son of that, people like you, people like that. So I think it's much stronger, right? Am I wrong, guys? Am I saying something? Am I making sense? You know what I mean? Like, I think players, yes, they care until a certain point, but at the end of the day, who cares, right? I mean, they are constantly surrounded by players that they scream and they yell at them. Like, you kidding me? French referees doesn't bring a good last. Joel, how you doing, man? I started sound like Pioli. Hi, Joel. How you doing? Theo and Leao kept diving for the referee to give us free kicks. That wasn't happening. Yeah, Joel, I noticed that. They were, especially Theo, was constantly falling, trying to get the fall that is not really good. And we saw that with European, not in Serie A. Most of those. Most of that the ref, they don't care. How can you fall asleep? I was screaming at my screen while almost getting a heart attack. I saw the guy fell asleep. Yeah. Hey, Pioli didn't do anything wrong this match. I don't know. Pioli was also his fault. We have derby to think about it. Pioli just cannot change it up too much. The derby that has nothing to do with this match. Yeah, that's correct. Remember, once the injury begin, then Pioli will lose the second place that we will have in Serie A also. If we don't plan for the derby and the Juve match, we are falling to third place. And Bologna might catch us up? No. This month is hell. No, Joel, this next week is hell. Next week it's hell. And if we don't beat Roma, we are embarrassing. What are we talking about? We are Milan and we don't lose to Roma. Believe, that's right. Derby has a lot to do with the way we played Roma in the first leg. That's not a wrong comment. That's not a wrong comment. The attitude of Milan has to completely change, especially in a big match like a derby. The attitude that we saw, and I'm gonna repeat this as I repeated already 2 times in the beginning of the streaming. I said that the attitude that we saw from Milan last night was the same attitude that we saw against the derby. In the derby, that was the same attitude. The same attitude that we saw in the derby, the same attitude that we saw in a semi-final of Champions League, the same attitude that we saw in the Super Cup, the same attitude that we saw. Listen, the same attitude that we saw also in some of the important match recently, that it feels like when there is a lot of pressure over Milan delivers. Milan PSG, Milan Napoli, on top of my head, Milan Tottenham. When there is a lot of pressure over, yes. But when there are not pressure, but expectation very high, like for example last night that Milan had to win. But there was not really. I think again we were a little bit arrogant against Roma. We said we didn't respect Roma that much to say, oh, they are a dangerous team, so we should start playing aggressively right away. We slow down. We slow down. We were like keeping the ball. We were not really. We were like trying to put the match to sleep. It doesn't work like this, because this is how you lose derby. Because instead of Roma yesterday was Inter. On the first half they could have scored 2 or 3, and that's already happened. This is really my only regret on one of the few, but the strongest regret on Pioli's mentally preparing the match, because sometimes Milan doesn't show up, and that's his fault, because he should be the person in charge of, first of all, picking the 11 best, which is I think he pretty much did, but then also put them in a mentality and give them the extra push to say, look around, there are 80,000 people that they spend minimum 50 euro each to be here. Some of them, they even flew from the other side of the world, maybe not, but from far, far away. Some of them, they started this morning to be here tonight. And the stadium, look at that, is full. Plus, so many people connected from all over the world watching you. So, and they want a victory tonight. They don't want to have a chit chat. They don't want to have Reinders that lose the ball without any problem, any sleeping. They don't know. They don't want to. They come to see a Rafa Leao dribbling, scoring. They come to see a Pulisic assist, goal. They want to see Giroud. They want to see the Chukwueze. They want to see Mike Maignan. They want to see the team that they love. They don't want to see another sleepy match. So mentally, sometimes I would love that he will put a little bit more of pressure. Because the lineup, guys, yes, we can talk about maybe Chukwueze. He was a better fit than Pulisic. Maybe Adli was a better fit than Benacer. But we know this after watching the match. Right? So Pulisic until Sunday was the best right wing. Everyone, all the Americans, right? All the Americans, video makers, they were like, "Oh my God, this player," and the comments, "Oh yeah, man, chill." He scored a goal against Lecce. The other great performance was against Verona. So, calma means calm down. Do this again in a derby. Do this against PSG. Do this against Borussia Dortmund. Do this in an important match against Juve, Roma. Not against Lecce. Easy to do against Lecce, right? He should be always playing there. If he plays there in the derby, it's going to be in between 3 strong physically defenders and very good midfielder of Inter. He's not going to see the color of the ball. So he played there because there was no Loftus-Cheek. But I will say, evaluate the player, their potential when they are when they're playing a big time. Why are we all celebrating Rafa Leao, Theo Hernandez, and Mike Maignan? Because we saw them plenty of times against big team doing big stuff. That's why we know they are champions. Because the performance, for example, of Rafa against PSG, I mean, that is ridiculous. He played incredibly. We know the value of the player. We know Theo, best left wing in the world. We know Mike as well. Then you need a coach that, of course, is going to help you out a little bit more. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. That's it. Ecco. Pioli is below mediocre. There you go. Staying a day before that, we are not far from Real Madrid level, and then gets exposed tactically by De Rossi. The only reason to keep this coach is because of incompetence of investing in a top coach. I put the like, I don't put the heart on this one, because you know that I cannot criticize too much on on Pioli. Steve, ciao Steve. Thank you, by the way, Steve, to put comments all my video. I really appreciate your comments, Steve. Wish I knew why when Wish I knew why when we are on a run of a good form, we seem to just put in not existing performance. It genuinely upset me. Yet somehow I still believe we can come back. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. No, Steve, you are a believer of this young AC Milan, and you're doing right to believe in this. Because we've been just sleeping on that match. So Milan, as we said before, didn't want to win the match. Clearly, you can see it was so annoying. And don't forget, we have Sassuolo next. They don't perform against us unless we have a very tight schedule. Cassano is the most overrated player ever. What do you say? So if we draw against Sassuolo, then lose to Inter and Juve, man. Joel. Yeah, I know. I understand that it's dramatic, but Joel, would you rather get second than win an international trophy? That's funny. No, definitely we would love to have an international trophy. Absolutely. Pathetic Cassano attempting to stay relevant on his own mind by criticizing people for clicks. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. Cassano, exactly. Cassano, because Cassano, what the fuck is wrong with Cassano? He won a Scudetto with us. Yeah, it's always against Leao because Cassano is the classic play, is the classic person that when you know he just talk for absolute. So he has like he talk about players in Real Madrid, in Bayern Munich, they are on top, extremely good, and then he compared them to the Serie A player, which is he considered the Serie A the below, for example, of La Liga, below Premier League and La Liga. To be honest, man, you know, La Liga, even though we all know that there are 2-3 big teams in La Liga, but Spain always bring a lot of good, solid teams in Europe, and they've been winning for a very long while. So the Liga, it's extremely competitive also because Barcelona and Real Madrid, anytime they play in Europe, they are very good. So that means the level of the Liga, it's really high. It's not just Barcelona and Real Madrid. The level itself, it is very, very high. Okay, so in Serie A, I think the thing about Serie A, I think it's more about tactical. It's more about, you know, trying to, if you're winning 2-0, you pretty much know that you can control the game in a certain way. If you win in 2-0 in Premier League on La Liga, until minutes 89, anything could happen. So it's a big contrast. Yeah. Now, what you guys are talking about here? Let me read it. Oh gosh, the comments here. CQ bro, I would love a trophy this year, but if we focus too much on the trophy and lose foothold in Serie A, it's going to be tough. Don't be scared. Pioli said we are almost at the level of Real Madrid, so it's easy. Okay. What is Pioli's doing right now? Dreaming about Pep Bold. That's true. But what does that tells you? We can't be relying on adrenaline every time. It's only when we are down that we start fighting. When we are expecting to win, we mess up, and this is Pioli issue. Exactly. When the going is tough, then Milan fires all the rockets. But when we are on a roll and we expect easy win, we make so many mistakes. Exactly what I've seen from Pioli. Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. Confidence is very important. Confidence is, as you see against with Roma, confidence it is, I'll say, a good, you know, it's a good percentage of coming. If we were facing Roma before the derby, probably was better because that really helped them out to keep also the attention very high, and defensively they didn't consider us anything. So Roma is going to be playing in Udine on Saturday. So Forza Udinese, we need Udinese to do some work for us. We need Udinese to score a goal or two to try to shake off a little bit this confidence of Roma, because yeah, we need that. That game was begging for Pulisic at the central offensive midfielder and Chukwueze on the wing. We must give credit to Pulisic. His was a cheap, plus he's having best season in his career. Whole team needs to step up in hard games. Gizzy Cambarao. Forza Milan sempre. Ciao Gizzy. I know Giroud hasn't been fantastic form, but if you look at his importance in the big games, he always seemed to score against Juve, Inter, Roma, Napoli, Lazio, in Europe against PSG. Yeah, 3-1 Milan in Roma. Let's make it to extra time. No, I don't want to arrive to extra time, because that means we're gonna stay. Then we are gonna be arriving in the derby exhausted. How the fuck Giroud missed that goal? That's a good question. That's a good question. How did he miss it, man? Yeah, CQ, I know that you're very emotional. I see that. You say that Pioli was below mediocre, was pure hate. I take it back. If my Milan lose, I don't feel good. Of course, I know that. I don't put the like for that reason, because but I got you. Yeah, Juve not winning enough to overcome us. Pioli can do it, honestly. He still needs good player in defense, at least 3 more. Our attack is already solid. They are only going to get better next year. Defense need work, but all the phase of defense, Joel, can expect Tomori and Gabbia to stay healthy or without red cards. Yeah. Peters also said that Serie A has a good 5 team. Problem is the rest of his team is worse compared to La Liga and the Premier League. I learned Pioli performing the best when we all threat him to fire his ass. Yes. Let's threat Pioli to make him grow some hair. Time for Ibra to say Pioli has 2 more games to keep his job. That's what's happening. Ciao, Cajun Red. How the hell did Giroud miss that? Trying to remain optimistic for the second leg. Maybe the attitude will change. Believe in this young AC Milan. I like this guy already. Big up to Cajun Red, that the first comment that he comes in the chat, he ended with the believe in this young AC Milan. I just read in AC Milan young, I added, welcome Cajun. Ladies and gentlemen, also remember to put a big like to the live stream, to share this live stream with others, Rossoneri, because we are creating a fantastic community. Can we send Sassuolo to Serie B? That is the idea, bro. That is the idea. Sassuolo to Serie B, that will be a liberation from a team that for 1 year we can be free from Sassuolo. That will be incredible. Yeah. It's probably not Pioli, but Krunic getting his revenge. Maybe he got control over Pioli, and that's why we fucked up preparation. Disappointed, but not impossible to make it. Milan will have to be Milan. And we believe. Familia, rather than take a loss here than in the league, we will come back in the second leg and keep running in Serie A. Believe this loss don't actually mean anything right now. Bad day at the office, but we regroup and come back and fight together. This guy, he knows we're gonna do it. Jorge Verdolaga, how you doing, man? So bad performance yesterday. Where are you from, Jorge? I know, Jorge. Yesterday was as all these Milanistas in the chat and in the comments here, we were all like surprised about the performance. We were like, it doesn't make any sense for us. So we will see. We still have a big hope, especially because the pressure is going to be on. The pressure next week is going to be on. And I tell you this, you know what is going to make the pressure grow even more? If we don't bring home 3 points against Sassuolo. If against Sassuolo we messed up for some reason, oof. If against Sassuolo we don't bring home 3 points, woof. Get ready to have one of the psychologically most difficult week of your of the last few months, bro. Because if we don't bring home 3 points against Sal in we're gonna be playing our whole season in 2 matches in 4 days. And that will be you're from Colombia and you love AC Milan, my second team in the world. Your second team in the world, right? What's your first one then? Is that a Colombian team? Is that the logo that I see here? I love that. Turkish league is a scandal. What? By the way, guys, do you know what's happened with the Turkish league? What's happened actually with why Fenerbahce doesn't want to play anymore in the Turkish league? It was, hang on a second. It was the moment when we all saw that there was a fight in the field against Fenerbahce's player. Do you remember? Clueless in attack, and our best player clearly lacking imagination. Samuel Adley did really well after coming up. Pioli always choosing the wrong players. Oh, it was terrible night for Liverpool and for Milan. There you go. Yes, Atletico Nacional. You had remember the you do remember the Intercontinental 1989 Atletico Nacional versus AC Milan? No. Vamos a ver. There you go. Santa Fe standing. Let's see where we. Oh, you like you. Oh man, you love the struggle, and look at that. So Atlético Nacional at the moment it is 10th in the Colombian league. 10th. So at the moment is it's a mid-table team at the moment, but I think it just started because they played 15 matches. Well, already Atlético Nacional vs AC Milan. Look at that. Oh, this match 0-0 in Tokyo. Oh man, look at this team. Good one, eh? He was in Tokyo with Baresi, a very young Paolo Maldini, Rijkaard. This is Simone, I think. Van Basten. And I think we won the World Cup in this, I guess, yeah? Sacchi, Baresi. Wondering if we will be back, if we will ever be back here, guys. You know, to winning trophies like this. Now we having fucking pink shirt, you know. Now we having this. Now we having pink shirts. Before we didn't have pink shirts, we had this. I'll show you what we had in the past. Before we had this. Before we had oh man, I can't find it. We got silver before, you know what I mean? We got cups, trophies. Flying to Japan, winning the World Cup, winning these things, you know. Ruud Gullit and Marco van Basten of AC Milan pose with the International Cup won against Atlético Nacional 1-0. There you go. Jorge, good time, eh? Look at that. Before we had this. And also, guys, let me tell you, I found a little bit ridiculous how many, because I think earlier in the 90s, I think the World Cup for club was just maybe a single match. Maybe just a single match, and then became 4 match. So there was a semi-final and then the final. And I think recently, from 2025, they're gonna add even more match. From Champions Leagues next year, we're gonna have already 2 extra match. I mean, that's gonna change so much next year, guys. Also, this is something that we never talk on the stream. You have to imagine also the next year. Remember that you want to change the coach, okay? You want to change the coach, but also you have to remember the next year we're going to be playing not only the Campionato, the Coppa Italia, but the Champions League has an extra 2 match. And from what I did understand, if you do not qualify into the top 8 team, but if you qualify from the 9th to the 9th to 20, well, let's make it easy. If you don't qualify from the 10th, from the 1 to 10, but if you qualify, for example, to the 10th to the 20, you have another 2 match to play to go into the knockout stage. So now you have what? You have 3 games at home and 3 games away. The new Champions League, you have 4 match at home and 4 match away. Plus, if you don't qualify into the top 10, you will have to have another 2 match. So we're talking about 5 match of Champions League to be qualified to the knockout stage. So you're adding, and I don't know how Milan is going to be doing next year. So I don't know if we're going to be into the top 8 or top 10 of Europe. But if we don't qualify with that, we're going to have to do another 2 matches. So remember, guys, that this is all part of the planning of a season. So if you tell me Thiago Motta is a coach that is coaching Bologna, which is he's playing good with Bologna, but Bologna also play once a week. Next year, if you want to have Thiago Motta in Milan, Thiago Motta means that, first of all, he does. If in Bologna you draw against Frosinone, because that's happened last Sunday, Bologna draw against Frosinone, 0-0, I want to see you, all of you. If Milan draw against Frosinone, Thiago Motta out. 2 weekends is going to last. 2. Draw against Frosinone and a draw against Sassuolo. 2 weekends. And Thiago Motta or others, Italians, managers that they haven't been playing on the top level, or other, not only Italian manager, but also other European manager, they're not used to having to be playing every 3 days. In the next year, there's going to be minimum 2 more Champions League matches. Minimum, because it's 4 matches. And then if you are not the best 8 or 10, whatever it is, you have to play another knockout stage. This is mental. That means you're talking about potentially talking something like 6 matches. This is a lot, guys. So what I say is be careful on what you're wishing, because it can always be good, anyway. Right. Fenerbahce got robbed versus Trabzonspor, and their fans and players attacked the Fenerbahce ones. The league didn't sanction them for that behavior. That's why Fenerbahce is now crying. They even let their under 11 and team play in the Turkish Cup final versus Galatasaray. I heard that. After the Icardi score in the minutes 15, all Fenerbahce players left the pitch, and Galatasaray won the game 3-0. Fucsia. Turkey Liga has fallen off. I remember Besiktas, Fenerbahce, and Galatasaray being world beaters, and they barely qualified for mid for Europa. Yeah. Still Wolves. The only thing I smiled about last night was seeing the Scousers smashed. At least the coefficient give us a 5 teams in the Champions League. That was unexpected, man. 3-0 by Atalanta. Man, if we were beating 3-0 Liverpool, we were being like, we're gonna win everything. We're gonna be like completely out of mind right now. You know what I mean? Baresi, Van Basten, they're washed. Calabria is better. Yeah. Did the Nacional have the one keeper who did the tricks? No, what's his name? This guy here. This guy here. Yeah, I know his name is this guy, right? This guy here. What's his name? This guy. Man, look at that in the 90s, the outfit with this tiger style jersey, red gloves. super fluffy hair, very, how to say, compact pants. Yeah. I think so. Supercoppa 2016 was much better. Is the draw for 8 matches then done by coincidence? Don't know. I think Pioli will remain coach even if we lose against Roma. The Intercontinental was the confrontation between the UEFA Champions League champions versus the Copa Libertadores champions. But after 2005, it was renamed as the Club World Cup. Yeah. If we what to say? If we change Pioli, we need 2 or 3 tiers. What? 2 or 3, don't know what, players with new coach. If we change Pioli, we need at least 2 or 3 try with a new coach before we find the right one who's gonna be good for us. Higuita, the Scorpion in Wembley. That's only in case we don't get a top coach. Yeah. You know what is interesting, guys? I don't know if you ever watch also, if you're just focused on Milan or you also watch other no not other teams, but like sometimes it's happened to you that you listen other Italian fans that they don't support Milan. Most of them, they don't understand the hate for Pioli. And I'm like, yeah, because you don't have to suffer for it. So they just see the bright part, you see? They only see the bright part. They don't see the dark side, let's say. So cool, this picture, man. This is a classic. Look at that. This is such a cool picture. This is so 90s. Is there anything more 90s than a picture like this? Everything is just on point. You see the hair, the mustache, the crown, so gangster, so cool. And then you got the Ballon d'Or, and even the shirt inside the pants, that is with the sponsor Mediolanum. Now, guys, 10 minutes to midnight. I'm gonna tell you a knowledge bomb. All right. Do you know why Milano is called Milano or Milan? Because of this word, because of Mediolanum. This is Latin. Mediolanum in Latin means middle of the land, right? Because, okay, you learn things at almost at midnight. See, on the old Rossonero. Look at that. Because for Romans, the time, so talking about 2000 years ago, Milan or medium, this town was located in the medium of the land. So that means that was far from the sea and far from the mountains. That's why medium of the land. That's why Mediolanum. This is why Milan. And with that, and with this one, I think we've done. We're done tonight, isn't it? The Scorpion Wembley. Okay, well, that was a special one, yeah. Woo! if you fire Pioli, who you gonna bring on the bench and have a guarantee better options? I think if we have to replace Pioli, but only if we have a better coach, not Motta, who hasn't won anything so far. Higuita had such balls to do that. If he fails, it's a goal. Motta is a coach, but to build on for the future, not proven. Pioli is without absolutely any doubt. It is more fun, Motta, for sure. I mean, if you look at some of the player, but Motta is to be fair, I will see more Motta, for example, in a moment like Juve. Don't know if you recently guys saw Juventus playing very bad. That is not really fun to watch. And Motta could be a good idea, if especially with the stability of Juve behind that, is gonna say, okay, you're gonna be our coach for the next 3 years. That's it. He can really do something. Especially with maybe the expectation of not winning on the first year, he can do something. They don't understand because they don't understand ambition and demands of our fans. Berlusconi spoiled us, yeah. Don't show me that trio, otherwise I have to cry and wank at the same times. Those baggy pants were peak late 80s and 90s. The baggy, so it's called like this, baggy pants. Oh man, these pictures are fantastic, isn't it? In other words, Milan is the center of the DIDN. When was Juve too fun to watch? Well, the Juve fun to watch, never, to be fair. But the Juve that reached the final in 2015, that Juve was special. I mean, they got prime Vidal, prime Pogba, prime Marchisio, and Pirlo in the midfield. That was special. Look at this. Can I keep watching? I love these pictures. What kind of picture are these, guys? The young Paolo Maldini. Albertini on the right side. Albertini, Paolo Maldini, Desai. Bro, almost special. Yeah, I almost say that. Yeah, special no, but you know what I mean. Che è Reinders, Gabbia. Even this one is a good picture, guys. Look at this. Look at this picture. Do you see anybody? Do you recognize anybody? Do you recognize anybody? Carlettino. I love these pictures, man. Saki and Van Basten. Rijkaard, Gullit, and Van Basten. This jersey here, it's fantastic. This is a good jersey. That's a good jersey. That's where money can go. Look at this picture as well. Super fun. Against Juve. What about this? That has to be prime Montolivo. Look at this picture. With Ronaldo. Let's see if you can remember. Albertini from the top left, right? Albertini, Ambrosini, Serginho, Pirlo, Costa Curta, Borriello, Ronaldo il fenomeno, Akaberkaladze, true Jordan legend, and Rino Gattuso, and Fiori. Look at this picture again. Like, where are these pictures from? These are awesome. These are awesome pictures. Look at this one. This one is so cool. Rino Gattuso on the bike. What about Roberto Baggio with the shotgun? Well, no, it's not really a shotgun. This is a... Who is this? Classic. Roberto Baggio with the Ballon d'Or in Paris. This Italian jersey, that was special. This one was this is unreal, man. This is unreal. This kid here is... How big is that logo? How big is this logo? Mamma mia. Can I say this jersey is fire? This jersey is actually fire. Wow. With a young Batistuta, 7-Up sponsor. The logo, by the way, on the left is huge. Lotto. This is really, really, really good jersey, man. Really good jersey. This one, Prime. This one was really special, this jersey right here. Now you'll see a cat running around. There you go. She's back. Yuma. Don't put your ass on. Puma. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I think we've done enough. I think it was a good therapy session, guys. We talk about Milan. We talk about what we did wrong, what we did right, what we expect. I think it was a good night of streaming, I think. Also, this is going to be the last streaming that I do for a while, guys, because as you guys know, tomorrow I'm actually flying back home. Tomorrow I'm flying back home. I'm going directly back to Milan tomorrow. It's time for me to stay a little bit with my mother and my father. And I'm going to be flying tomorrow from Barcelona to Milan. Tomorrow I'm going to have a good Saturday with my mother, and then during the week we have to do a few things. Thursday, however, I will be back, of course, with don't know if I'm going to be able to do, hopefully I'm going to be able to do a quick live as soon as the match against Roma is done. And then, guys, I'm going to be there for the derby. Thanks to the Milanistra and Peter that really was able to gift for your old Rossonero that is gonna make a good vlog for that day, guys. We're gonna make a good vlog for that day because it's important. And I decide to go, and Peter knows this. I decide to go to the derby. I think it was already a month ago, even before knowing if we actually gonna be playing the Scudetto in the derby, because I always thought, if first of all it's an important derby, second of all, if it's gonna be a sad moment, I will rather be there next to the team that I support. I will rather be there with the people that really are passionate about our colors. And if the boat goes down, we go down together. I don't care. It's a sad memory, but I was there, and I'd rather be there for that match than in 1,000 of victories against other teams. So it could be a very sad moment, could be a very devastating, I don't know how you explain it there. It could be really, really, really terrible, but also it could be one of the best memory. So believe in this young AC Milan. Believe in this young AC Milan. Thanks all of you guys to joining into the live stream tonight. It was a good therapy session. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for the stream. Hope you enjoy your trip home and give us luck. Enjoy the derby. Forza Milan. Thank you, Steve. CQ, Peter, Marianne. I can see all the others. Mr. Wolf. I don't know if you are Vuxia, if you're still here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Always Forza Milan. Anthony. I was about to say goodbye, but yes, the players need to show up Thursday at the Olimpico. Yes, believe in this young AC Milan. We're gonna have to do. We have a job to do. We have to get the job done. No more tiki taka. Get the ball in the net and let's go. All right. Ciao to everyone. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. See you soon.